about who they'd rather play. You said you'd rather have played LC. LC said they'd rather have played you. And Omega yesterday was saying that he'd rather have played Fnatic. Like, that's the big one. Like, he wants to play Maniac, so maybe Maniac gets his wish according to you.
But see, here's the thing. I think Omega wants to play Fnatic for a very different reason than the other players want to play other teams. I think everybody said, I would rather play the team that I think my team is better matched against. Omega said, I would rather play the better team so I could be better than them. That's really where Omega's
I think he wanted to play. No, he wanted to play better than the other solo lane. He believes he's a better solo lane than Maniac. So if that's the case, then same story, really. It's no real difference.
So Hinderman said he wasn't going to ask you. That's because I'm going to ask you. Game 3, Fnatic LC. Fnatic have first pick. They say no Khepri. Who wins this one?
Right now, I'm giving it to whoever drafts the better team fight comp. This LAN has been team fight composition based. So if you have the pickoff comp and you don't make it work, by the time it gets to that mid game, you're going to be in mad trouble.
Well, this is the third game these two are facing. This time round, there's going to be no bug at all. First game, Fnatic had it. Second game, Conspiracy had it. Fnatic this time, though, they get first pick again, and they've both won on the Order side in this matchup. Fnatic's Order side, if you're a Fnatic fan now, you might be happy because of that.
Coach Ependary, he's so tall. He's got to completely bend in half just to get on the same head level as the rest of his team. Xing Chen taking off the board. So, Fnatic, do you think first pick Zeus?
It worked for them in the first game. They won't have the Khepri combination with it, so it won't be quite as effective.
It's dangerous.
But he's such a strong character. You don't have to deal with the Zhong Kui diving you, and there it is, first pick.
Well, Xing Chen also taken off the table as well, which means I expect to see LC go for this Bellona again in the solo lane. There's no reason not to go for this. Zashu's look very prominent on it. And obviously, with Xing Chen being one of the biggest issues for Bellona that we've seen so far, it's okay to. Plus, he can pull out the Sobek again, Maniac against it. He had a good game against that one.
For me, I like the Bellona pick over the Zeus personally. If I was in Fnatic shoes, I would have gone for the first pick Bellona. Her presence in these games is absolutely incredible. You saw last game how much work Bellona really put in. They couldn't have done it without the Bellona, and a brilliant solo pickup as well.
And like you were saying, with the Khepri off the board, Zeus is so much more vulnerable. Still doesn't have a button to get out of jail. So,
do you put this solid mid again, Ferrero?
It worked so well for them, they might go back and do it. I get a little bit worried about sometimes getting static, doing things. You know, a lot of teams, you win with something, and then you keep running it back and back and back. We call it the salty NA run back here in North America.
We saw it, game 2.
And it happened in game 2, exactly. So I do hope they put it in the ADC role, but if he's feeling confident with it, if it works one time, sometimes it works too.
Now the question is, where does Fnatic go for their jungle pick here? Captain Twig on your screen, clearly. He's ran the Thor pretty well, honestly, for him there. Humbats is available as well. Take that one away from Cherio. Cherio seems to have a better game on it.
Going right back to what Incon said, team fight centric. Humbats is one of my favorite junglers with respect to team fight ability. Thor is a nice idea, but Humbats just plays disruption so much more.
This is the same comp Fnatic ran game 1 so far. The last 2 picks in that, I believe, were Xing Chen. Or was it Bellona? It was big Bellona, I think. Yeah, because Xing Chen was on the other side. Yeah. They had Bellona, which obviously they can't have this time, so it's going to be a different solo laner.
And they have the Khepri.
And the support was the Khepri. So the last 2 picks will be different from that lineup. And Athena gets through to a Milzy. I'm really happy to see him on a frontline god that he loves. He's very good on this Athena, and this is what has helped bring LC this far.
Najah taken off by Fnatic, so none of that nonsense for Cherio.
Seeing a Geb coming out here for Badger, I'm expecting for Fnatic now. With Bacchus taken off the table for him, he likes to be aggressive with that. He's quite happy to sit back too. Geb is probably the go-to pick here.
I really want to see the Geb pick come out. It kind of does the same things as Khepri, where you're looking to help Zeus out. Let Zeus get off his damage, give him the shield to live, give him the old Khepri to live. Same concept. That's really what they should be looking for on the side of Fnatic, to make sure they can get off all the damage, because right now they're running a very squishy lineup comparatively to London Conspiracy.
Now Shaggy Shenk as well, gone for that Ho Yi this time round. He's slowly declined in play so far this tournament, but those ricochets, if they're on point, take into account they're at land, so the ping is a lot lower. I expect to see those ricochets land, and like we were saying, perfect, because Fnatic locked in what we expected.
Exactly. Fnatic, you just mentioned how squishy the lineup is. Well, fix that with 2 Guardians. Perfect lineup for Fnatic. And honestly, LC's looking pretty damn perfect as well on the other side. Bellona, Sol, Athena, Ho Yi. We're looking for likely a jungler. Bellona can flex a little bit, but there's the Bastet.
So we're going to see the Bastet. Now, we've seen Bastet up against Zeus quite a lot this tournament in COD. A lot of people like the in and out ability of her. Get the poke damage on before you receive too much damage.
Cherio's
and the Kitty Cats also block situations too, right?
It's very difficult as Zeus to go against Bastet because you have no movement ability, jump ability to get away from the cats. Cats are pretty easy to get away from. All you have to do is use one getaway ability. Zeus doesn't have them, and cats base damage is insanely high. You
Yeah.
cast that onto the Zeus, and it's going to 100 to 0 him with just the catch.
And not just that though, but if he's under pressure and he's trying to live, if he's got no way of running, he'll stand and fight. He throws out a chain lightning. Those kiddies, buck those. Big issue.
I want to see an early sprint out of the Zeus in this one. Like we said, Bastet going to be a very big threat for that mid lane Zeus. Going to watch out for that one. Sprint will let him get out of jail. We're taking a look at London Conspiracy. They're a little bit fidgety, getting ready. Fnatic on the other side look a little bit more locked in.
Depending on the pressure put on here at level 5, I would like to see Zeus playing back. Cheerio loves the level 5 gank. He loves it when he's playing Thor. He loves it when he's playing Bastet. He's going to be looking for that gank at level 5 for the Cats when Zeus doesn't have any way to get out. I want to see him playing back unless they have some sort of huge advantage from the early game.
Is it the mid lane that you're looking to see the Bastet gank over and over again, or do you look for reals potentially?
It'll be way easier to gank the Zeus than it will be to gank Reels. Rama's a very difficult character to gank. Not only does he have rollout, but he can also go into the air by the time Bastet has her Cats.
Then is it
It's
Gab?
going to be very difficult. Plus Gab,
Yeah.
shield, knock up, ultimate, stun. So much stuff to get away from.
Same question across the way though. Where does Twig go gank?
That's a little bit harder. Twig's going to have a hard time here. We have the Soul again in the mid lane. Huyi's a little bit easier to gank because a lot of the times Huyi's will use their jump to be aggressive. It does a lot of damage, has a lot of great scaling. The knock up if you have your mark on somebody. So he can try to catch Shaggy Tank off an aggressive jump.
So here's the question I have here. Cherio, we just spoke a lot about the big boons of having that Bastet available, specifically against Zeros. Why the Bastet over the Thor?
Bastet has a much easier time ganking the Zeus early. Thor, we saw, hasn't been very effective. It could also be that as well. When you haven't seen it been working out too well, a lot of the times you start to stray away from the character. It wasn't picked or banned this game.
And also, not for nothing, Cherio, one of the things we discussed, Cherio is from Egypt, and he plays on high ping, so he traditionally doesn't play the Thor when he's at home during the regular season online.
He did try it in this tournament. He said he was going to give it a go, and he did okay. It wasn't too bad. Thing to note in this game, though, both junglers and mids took power potions here. They're looking for the early game aggression. The rotation's very important for this team. Where's the push with Incon?
If there's an early fight here at the mid Harpies, it's going to be in favor of the Zeus. Zeus will destroy Bastet Soul. They have to be careful though because Soul has better poke. If Soul can stay behind those minions, get a little bit of poke on Zeus early, where Zeus can't lane the chain lightning because of minions, it's going to be a problem. But if either of these teams loses in the mid jungle fight early, they're going to lose out on 900 gold of potions if they both die, which means this could be a huge swing right off the bat.
Could be a big swing. Nice chain lightning coming out there from Zeus, just using the poke to clear the last minion and put the pressure on. Going to swing around for the right, but he's waiting patient, which I think is wise for his Humbats to turn up too. And I think we may see a bit of a fight over both here.
Fnatic's mid laner.
That was cool. Zero's telegraphed it that he was going left, and Bastet saw it and went, no, come to the right ones. But Bats was over there already, and now Bats, well, he's going in.
Very low is Cherio since he tanked that Harpy up all by himself. He's sitting about half HP. That's going to mean one free Harpy for Captain Twig over here.
I think London Conspiracy may have been a little bit afraid there.
Yeah.
Hunbat jumped in on them, and the Zeus was nowhere to be found. They could have turned immediately onto Hunbat and tried to kill him.
And now because of that poke that we just saw Zeros get off, these camps on the left are going to be free for Fnatic as well. Yes, it might not seem like a lot, but the race to level 5 for mid and jungle is monstrously important.
Especially when you have a combination like Hunbat and Zeus. If they can get level 5 a wave early, they get the Hunbat ult off into the Zeus ult, and there is nothing you can do about it. You're dead.
Zeus and Hunbat's leading the way right now at the very least. Level 4 already on Zeus, comparatively speaking to Arrow's level 3. And Captain Twig, we're seeing a different Captain Twig in this series. I feel like this is more aggression than Captain Twig traditionally shows, honestly.
Twig has his aggression in his playstyle anyway. The big issue with Twig that is he sometimes second guesses himself when he looks at a fight. And he'll think there a little bit too long, and sometimes he'll still go in, but the opportunity's gone. And that's when you see these situations arise where he gets picked or he doesn't find what he was really looking for there. This game, though, and the games previously, doesn't look like he's second-guessing anymore. His game face is on.
Look, just directly into the back jungle is Captain Twig. Just no second guesses, as you said, Hindu. Just right for it. And with the help of that Zeros, just the threat of the Zeus, we saw how quickly Cherio was really brought down.
Twig needs like 2 minions here off this wave to make sure he can get the kill. Zeus already has ultimate as well, and you can see the others are still fighting for that. Twig will now hit level 5 off this wave. I believe. No, he didn't hit 5. Did he not? I guess he didn't get those melee creeps.
No, Zeus taking a little bit of the extra XP there to hit 5 early. we're seeing them go for the backcams. They took their the opposing team's backcams because of the pressure right now that Reels and Badger have in the left lane. It has to be noted that you can't go take backcams if your ADC lane is losing the lane in terms of push, because then you get rotated on.
Oh,
so it's very important that they have the push over here with the Rama. Huyi's push is not very strong, neither is Geb's, but Rama has very, very good push.
One of the big things we were talking about last game was the lack of blink on that Hun Bats. Right away,
That's good
first
aggression
back,
on Reels.
blink comes out of the jungler.
Good aggression onto Reels there, but immediately Badger responded with a very nice shield to absorb that damage and stop the extra damage that was going to come out after the taunt into the Defender of Olympus.
It was a very important shield there as well, because at that exact time, Shaggy Shank hit level 5.
Yep.
That Huyi ultimate could have been enough to kill Reels right there with
Good
how
call.
much damage it puts out. Not to mention, if he would have gotten a lucky knock-up on a rollout, that could have been an easy first blood, double kill, etc.
I'm expecting a much more aggressive game from both these teams as well, especially with the compositions they've lined up. Even, and especially with a Millsy here as well. Take into account he's got that global ultimate, and there's the aggression in mid lane right now. They're looking for Arrow, but they're not going to find him.
Gotta wait for
Maybe they
there
will.
it is. There's the hit from Captain Twig. Put Fnatic on the board first. No portals available.
The shield!
It's a Zeus and not a Giannis. And Captain Twig winds up
The
walking
shield!
through the wall.
Badger saved his life with that shield, and it absorbed a lot of damage. It didn't look like it because the kiddies came on it straight away. That's why he lived.
That's what it was. I saw Captain Twig walking in the wall like he was expecting a portal.
Nope. Shield was there from Badger.
There it is.
Good rotation from the lad from that solo lane, and now from the dual lane. Now he's going to be able to soak up experience here as well. That's a big importance that we didn't see a trade there.
That big play is going to allow Fnatic to get both these mid-harpies. They're going to get quite a bit of experience off this, not to mention they get the first blood. This is going to be very big in favor of Fnatic. It was a pretty good play by Arrow trying to get out of there. He got the immunity frames and was getting close to getting out, but Captain Twig was like, you're not getting out of here, jumps in on him, even with the possibly getting killed by Bastet, but trusting in his teammate Badger to get there for the Geb shield.
Oh, yeah.
I was surprised by one thing that we didn't see a Millsy maybe even ult into the mid lane. Even though the cats were chasing, he could have continued the aggression there. The taunt would have definitely secured something with a reach potentially there. But I guess he just felt he wasn't required. And in the end, Conspiracy didn't find anything.
Big play for Fnatic. I liked the play at a Zeros, too, just waiting for the ethereal form to be over and then popping the detonate, knowing just how long the timing is on that. Because think about that. You pop it early, you deal no damage. You pop it late, the charges fall off, you deal no damage. Zero's really finding that sweet spot.
It wasn't just that, but it was also the fact that he trusted him and Twig. He communicated that to Twig too, because Twig still went in with the somersault. He wouldn't have used his full commit and escape to go in and find that kill if he didn't expect that to be available. Good communication from Fnatic.
That's the aggression we were talking about coming out of Captain Twig. It really is paying off. London Conspiracy, on the other hand, being careful. Cherio dropping all the vision he can on the right side of the jungle.
Keep an eye on Millsy though, because he's got those taunts available now, and only one beads on the side of Fnatic so far. It's an opportunity for the aggression side of things to come out for London Conspiracy. One good taunt into a big pounce, and the cats get dropped. Well, we're going to see an invade, and
Here
there's the
comes
taunt.
London Conspiracy with the aggression this time around. Zeros drops the ultimate to try to zone out the two members of his LC on the right side, but there's 4 in red. Captain Twig kind of separated, and Zeros, he's going to live,
Get
but
out.
he's definitely out of the fight. Shaggy Shank very low, 1 in the air,
Big.
2 at the ground. Reels picks up the kill onto Shaggy Shank, and now dealing onto Arrow.
Arrow trying to run away, but Ethereal Form now over, and now with Maniac over here too. He will
Toasted.
fall. The slow is enough to bring him down. Didn't find any burst off that either. Well, once again for me, Badger made an impact because the knock up on 3 targets allowed Reels to secure a very easy snipe.
I like the aggression coming out from London Conspiracy there. They went for a big play. They almost had it. Zyros was almost dead. They had some great abilities coming out, but they just couldn't quite finish off their targets the way they needed to, as early as they needed to. The Soul Ultimate didn't quite hit as many targets as they needed to.
Exactly. You can take a look at the bottom of your screen, the damage. So close, 28 to 3,300, right? You can see that London Conspiracy just almost got those kills, but the couple of extra hundreds of damage that Fnatic was able to deal, those were the kills.
Those were the kills indeed, and the pressure is definitely on for Fnatic right now. London Conspiracy in an opportunity right now where you can actually see that they went for the commitment there in COD. They put all the pressure on, but with that commitment they put into that engagement, have they lost the game because of that, or is there still a way for them?
No, they've only are about down a couple K gold right now. It's not a big deal. They need to keep their heads about them, though, because a 2K gold lead at 7 minutes in can be a problem if you let that trend continue.
Right.
You have to step back in. They need to keep up their aggression. It was a good play. It was a smart play. It just didn't happen to go in their favor.
I guess the best thing about it is the Gold Fury still stands, right? If that would have gone 2, maybe we're looking elsewhere, but look at this, Twig round the back!
Twig gets the ultimate off. That's going to send Arrow closer to the tower, but a little bit too close was that one, and London Conspiracy playing it safe.
Zero's ult was a little bit off there as well. He did it very early, expecting the push from the Fear Weaver, but the beads was used immediately by the boys of LC. No communication about the beats being on cooldown, but now that they are, I expect to see that go again.
This is another game where we're seeing the Hunmed Zeus ults not being used in synergy perfectly. They're being used at the same time, but not in the right places.
Right.
So they need to synergize where their Hunmed's ulting so the Zeus knows where to ult right then.
And for Fnatic, in defense of Fnatic, the first time around we saw a very quick adjustment, right? They put it on top, realized it was wrong. I expect the same as Maniac trying to do what he can against the opposing solo laner.
Now Zashu there was trying to make a big play of the Eagles rally to connect the moment Maniac got out there. Maniac going aggressive, but it was controlled aggression because he was really regenerating mana during the ultimate. You can see the junglers both turn up going, hey up, they had a bit of a scrap over there, they're both pretty low, so they have to come in to reinforce as well. But it was a good controlled aggression from both, and Zashu was very unfortunate with the Eagles rally.
I like that play from Maniac trying to bait the opponent into being a little over aggressive. There's the ult out of Shaggy Shank, forced in the air as Reels, might be in some trouble as soon as he lands, but able to create space by providing damage onto Shaggy.
They did a good play there, Conspiracy, but they didn't get the full confirmed damage off they were after, and that's the big unfortunate thing. The reason they disengaged so quickly, Geb's on his way, and when Geb gets there, the shields, the knockups, you're not going to find the kill.
Captain Twig does not have an off button. He's been invading since minute 1, and it's been working out for Fnatic.
I like the pressure they put on the ADC layer, C lane. They have Captain Twig putting pressure in right lane, so they had to put pressure elsewhere. They had a good play on the Reels. The problem was the Ricochet missed. He went for a double tap, and I think he missed both of his bounces.
He did. I think he hit the first one, and the second one didn't connect was the thing, but the first one actually hit during... Oh, hang on, they're still diving the right side. Zashu, he doesn't have Eagles Rally. You saw him use it a little bit earlier. The flip towards the monkey. Zashu still stands. Twig needs to pick him up. He's going to go down anyway. He finds one, but now Maniac's in a world of pressure. He's got reinforcements coming from the jungle, though.
Here comes Badger and Zeros.
They caught the rotation of Arrow there. That was important to make that worthwhile for Fnatic.
I mean, we're talking aggression, right? Not only are we seeing blue buff invades, Zashu's still in... Oh, that's a Mealsy now. Body blocks are strong. Nobody's getting under that tower. But a small sidestep allows Emilzy to find it.
Weaved his way through there, and there was a real opportunity for another pick that.
Yeah, there was. The problem was Geb isn't really known for his strong damage. He did the best that he could, and they used their large Guardian bodies to body block as much as they could, but Athena still had her dash up, and so she got away.
Here's the thing. We're sitting here commending Fnatic for proper aggression. Fnatic is diving tier 2 towers at 9 minutes, and it's working out.
Yeah, they have a lot of presence right now of mine. I mean, Sobek, Mania is huge right now. He's putting so much pressure right now on Zashu, and Captain Twig is camping his lane. He is not leaving his lane.
So actually, let me pose this question to you. Now, mathematically, the gold for the 1-for-1 trade over there in the right lane with how successfully Captain Twig has been doing probably doesn't work out, but how much does that mean to get into Zashu's head? I mean, they're diving their tier 2 tower at level at 9 minutes. Does that mean anything?
You know Zashu right now knows that he's not safe. Another big thing is look how low the tier 1 tower is over in the solo lane. It is just a couple hits away from dead. If they get that tower down, Zashu has absolutely no protections, and he might have to play all the way back in his tier 2, giving Mania a chance to last hit.
Not only that, that whole dive in the right, we saw it. We didn't catch it on camera, but we can see the remnants of the Zeus ult picking up Arrow. The rotation from Badger and Zeus was on point. Zero's linked up nicely with him. Picking Arrow in the jungle was another big pick, because now Arrow's like, well, they're going to rotate as well. I have to be careful on my rotation through the jungle, so I can't even support my teammate that's under pressure.
Splitting these camps on the backside as Zeros picks up his red. We'll head back to lane and looking very strong. That's a level 13 Zeus, comparatively level 10 Soul. That's 3 levels up.
I'm very worried right now for London Conspiracy. All of their magic damage is dependent on this Soul middle, and she is 0, 3, and 0, about a K behind the Zeus in gold. They need her completely to do all of their magic damage, which means inside of Fnatic right now, I'm thinking build mid-Guardian. Male's built all the physical defense in the world.
I was going to say, she's building Book of Tough right now. Would you look for her to invest more into actives here? Is it the best call, or do you still go for the damage?
Normally, I would want to get actives early, but in the predicament that they're in with her being the only magic damage outside of the Guardian who's not going to be doing any damage, she needs to get her damage online early in order to bring the presence for her team. Otherwise, once Solon gets online, she's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Look at this. Zashu playing defensively with the Athena ult, but here comes Captain Twig.
Maybe
I think
took a
Fnatic
lot, but
thought
our
about
Bastet's
it.
here.
I think Fnatic thought about making a play right there, but opted not to. So this time around, maybe not so aggressive for the guys on Fnatic.
Big keys to note there as well is the jungle rotation was very quick out of London Conspiracy for that one. But Badger again was over at the Fire Giant when that engagement was still being looked at as a potential threat for Conspiracy. Badger's rotations for support role have been very good today so far. He's made key plays.
Athena's having to spend so much time over in the solo lane that is leaving things like this open. Shaggy Shank can't control the ADC lane, and now Fnatic's looking for a Gold Fury with very little contention so far.
50% down. Ultimate's dropped on top of it. This might be an exchange.
Reset.
Captain Twig picks up the kill. Captain Twig picks up a double kill. And with 2 dead, Badger still...
Triple. It could be a triple. Oh no, maybe he's bitten off too much more than he could chew. Realizing that, he blinks out because he realized Zashu was coming around the corner there. But the ultimate's got dropped. The Gold Fury reset. Fnatic win.
Gold Fury reset. That is exactly what I wanted to say right there, my friend. So smart. Zeus Ultimate is dropped to try and burn down the Gold Fury, but so is Shaggy Shank's Sons. At that point, you can't stop DPS like you want, or like Fnatic wants, so they have to back up.
It's such a risk. It's like, this is a gamble. Who's going to get the final hit? Is it going to be the Suns? Is it going to be those kitty cats that were around there too? The bleed was on as well. And we've got Zeus damage. Let's just reset for safety.
It was a very smart reset by Fnatic. You have to reset in that situation and look for the fight. They knew they had the better fight. They've got the gold and level advantage. There was no reason to risk it. It was a very smart, well thought out reset, and they got some great kills off of that. Arrow still so far behind Zyros because of it.
Yeah, correcting mistakes from yesterday as well. When they played off against Paradigm, you saw that Fire Giant that cost them game 3 in the end. Clearly, they've sorted out those issues and they're starting to find things today.
I like the try for Maniac, try to use the charge, pray to interrupt the bludgeon. Grabs a minion instead, but well worth the effort.
Sometimes you just pluck a minion, you know. You gotta show them who's the boss.
Now we talk about Warlock Slash again. It's 14 minutes in. Stacks are already pouring in for Zeus in mid lane. Zeros has that one online. That's an important key feature here, just to deal with Bastet's poke damage. Being a little bit more healthier means he's going to survive a little bit longer too. Very important for him in this game. And now he's got it nice and early again. Those stacks are going to pay dividends late game.
I expect to see Fnatic look back towards this Gold Fury. They've had success over there. They've got the presence. They've got the Zeus, who's got so much more damage than Arrow right now. He's got the defensive with his Warlock Slash. He has a Geb shield to protect him. They have very little worries right now because there's not many people on the side of London Conspiracy that can die from outside of the Bastet.
Well, right now they're clearing out the ward. They're looking for a potential pick here. Clearly, Badger's going to quickly go back to base here. More than likely get some more sentry wards to bait out 1 or 2 more. Shaggy Shank does have one in his inventory as well. So I expect a Gold Fury attempt again, at least a bait into their, some sort of play.
Right now, Fnatic has 3,000 gold up on LC. Once we see another 1,000, 2,800. Once we see another 1,000, I think that's really where you go and you start to force the fight. You try to make things happen, and that's where you turn your, what I call the option select. You pull the Gold Fury, and if they come, you fight, and if they don't, you take the gold.
Exactly. This is what they need to be looking towards, but they have to make sure they have the ward control. That's a big thing right now, is making sure you have ward control so you can see as everybody comes in, so you know when to reset that Gold Fury and be looking for the fight. But London Conspiracy seems undeterred right now, playing pretty aggressive.
Can we see experience in gold again, just for a moment on your screens? Because it looks like they've slowly started to stem the flow a little bit here, Conspiracy, of this bleed that's been going on for a very long time. If they can hold off, they still have that double, Hunter late game with that Sol and Ho Yi, and it can be really strong late. But look at this. Pressure on Zeus. Zeus survives. Ultimate still intact.
3-on-2 and still London Conspiracy have to play it a little bit safe.
I like the idea there from London Conspiracy, though, trying to get that fight going off while
they want to fight, though.
The lane.
Cataclysm comes out, Fear No Evil as well. Maniac was round the back again with the teleport. Reminiscence of game 1 there. Snipes available for reals. He finds him again. Rinse, repeat of game 1, boys and girls.
Hit him with the flash shot. The quick 1-2 and the right on back for the final nail in the coffin. Sit down, Sherio. And Fnatic still keeping on, keeping on. Zashu gets hit by the shield out of Zeus. And now at the space created, Fnatic already have the Gold Fury down to 50%. That is an objective in the books. Fnatic, ladies and gentlemen, it's 16.5 in. Let's take a look at their lead.
I was saying for a second that the bleeding had stopped for a moment, but Fnatic just picked that scab that was forming already and ripped it right open again.
That play there is where the game went from close to starting to get out of control. That's the play where it all starts. It's that around 15-minute team fight at the Gold Fury. That is what is making Smite matches right now, is the ability to win that team fight. If you don't, it is very, very hard to come back, both mentally and physically in the game.
Feels a little bit caught out of position there by Shaggy Shank, puts the pressure on him, the roll already down. You see the beads actually used there by Rios to try and get his rollout available again. Not necessarily rollout, but the slow effect more than anything off him. I don't think he had beads 3 there by the look of that one, but he did manage to get out of danger.
I'm still going back to that ultimate out of Reels. He turns around to try and find a different target and says, nope, I'm going to save mine for the front guy, and whips his mouse right back and instantly takes that hit. That right there, I mean, that just shows how accurate Reels
It's also the fact that he's using the full length of the duration of that ultimate as well. He's not firing all shots, bam, bam, bam. He's holding it and waiting for the right opportunity, because at the same time, Athena was ulting there. All pressure onto Zeros in mid there. Ult down Zeros, he's going to die.
We finally see the Bastet Cats onto Zeus. We've been waiting to see this all game. We wanted to start at level 5, waited until Cherio was level 13 to get it off, but that's the play that they need. They can pick Zeus off with the Bastet Cats. They need to do it over and over again.
They're looking for more on Geb here. The taunt in, the bludgeon damage is good too. The shield cataclysm though from Badger will buy him a moment. Eagles rally misses, so the rollout gets him out of danger.
Absolutely love the pathing that Badger decided to take there. Predicted the Eagles rally, went the other direction to avoid it. Maniac shows up. Captain Twig shows up. This is why we didn't see that aggression in the middle lane before, because London Conspiracy was unable to isolate the Fnatic mid laner. Now you see all the reinforcements coming on down the lane.
And while that was going on, Reels managed to take down that tier 1 tower finally in that left-hand side, which was very, very low anyway. Shaggy Shank did not want to choose to fight him again after the last engagement, knowing the Suns were down. Reels abused the opportunity.
London Conspiracy, I like the play coming out from them, though. They know they have to find little tiny plays when they can. Killing the Zeus, you have to do it. They almost got a tier 1 tower. They missed a blown ultimate, which could have led to a Geb kill. But then at the same time, we had a missed Hunbat's ult right after. Mania used his ultimate, which didn't hit anybody as well. There was a lot of missed ultimates there at the end as everybody was kind of resetting out.
And that just goes to show you that Fnatic is still... London Conspiracy is still very much in it, and Fnatic is aware of that. And so they have to be, they're expending the ultimates under there. All right, look, we do have to be careful. We're up 6,000, not 16,000. And if London Conspiracy keeps on finding the small little wins, that 6 can very quickly turn to 3, can very quickly turn to 0. So.
And Fnatic is slowly trying to break the back at the moment. It's bending, but it's not broken just yet of LC. And LC, with those picks in the mid lane there, that pick on Zeus, very, very key and very important. If they can find another 1 or 2 of these around the next Gold Fury spawn in 2, then this could swing again.
And I mean, that's always the default question when you're sitting here and you're looking at an uphill lead. You know, the question that, you know, the caster here always asks the other caster, you know, how does London Conspiracy get back in this game? Just like that. The little individual wins right there. Take out the Zeus real quick. Take out the other guy lonely by himself real quick.
They're doing well trying to get back in any way that they can, because Fnatic is at the tipping point. This is the lead where it's not quite guaranteed to be over, but one more Gold Fury team fight and Fnatic can put this one away, and London Conspiracy knows that they have to win the next game.
Is this a way in, though, with Cherio going for a full damage build here? The Transcendence is now finished. He's working on the Jotuns. This is the pen build that we've seen out of EU before.
It's very risky, but that could be one way to try to get it.
What else does Bastet do? It's not like a Hun Bats. Even Hun Bats can be sort of played utilitarian, right? It's not a Thor where it very easily leads itself. I'm not doing damage, let me do something else. Bastet just deals the damage. So you're here, you have the pick. You're only 1 and 2. You're not 1 and 7. You can still do this. Cherio going full damage. I absolutely agree with it.
And if he gets onto Zeus or onto the Rama, he's going to force ultimates minimum off that situation. So it's a way in for them. They've still got Athena for the front line, and they've still got the Bellona too. So raw damage, risky. You think?
It is risky, but the sole job of this Bastet is to kill one of the backline targets before you die. That's basically get it down to a 4v4 without being able to be Zeus detonated. That is considered a win right now for Cherio. That is his job. He just has to be careful that he doesn't get stuck in a chain of CC if he has his beads down.
20 seconds left till the Gold Fury spawns up now, and once again, this is a very important Gold Fury, because if Conspiracy get it, we're back to almost a tied game here. At least they're back in it. Fnatic get this one. then, well, we know this is going to probably be very, very difficult for Conspiracy to get back into.
London Conspiracy needs both to win the team fight and get the Gold Fury, which is going to be very important. Fnatic can do either at this point. If they go for the Gold Fury and it gets stolen, they can still win the team fight and then go do Fire Giant. Or they can just get the Gold Fury, lose a couple people, they'll still be fine.
Right.
London has to get both, which is going to be very, very difficult, but not impossible.
Well, we've got the rotations over here. Fnatic centralized around this left side of the map. They understand that this game is about the next Gold Fury. Captain Twig, I'd say he's zoning, but he's really just smacking down the opposing jungler, trying to deal what damage he can. And already, Fnatic have the Gold Fury down to 50%.
Yeah, they're in a really good position for it. It doesn't look like
That's
Conspiracy
free.
are going to
No,
contest.
it's free.
They had to contest, Con, right? They had to.
They really needed to contest there. The problem is they don't have any money to get the vision up. Without the vision, Captain Twig is completely zoning them out. They do force Captain Twig's speed though, which is really good, but a great Geb shield coming out as well as the Hunbat's ult leading
Maniac.
out Emilzy to the side.
Maniac shows up right in front of Emilzy. He's going to get a couple of basics down. The rest of Fnatic generally looking towards the tower. Everybody's turned their sights onto the support, and Emilzy immediately goes down to the hand of Captain Twig. Captain at about half HP. Zashu try to make that 0, but the rest of Fnatic show up in spades to try to turn things around. Zashu, 25%. Shaggy picks up 1 for his team, but Badger immediately trades on back. Zashu going to fall as well. The only ones alive are Cherio and Arrow, and they're both playing retreat. Cherio might pick up Captain Twig. Jungler! Oh! Smash plus the shield. Captain Twig comes up on top. 13-4 leads Fnatic.
And Arrow's alone. He's going to have his disapparated. There we go. He's going to be alive for a second, but they're going to dive in. Maniac tanky enough to continue the chase, and they will find the deicide onto the boys of LC. That team fight, we saw Bastet go in looking for Reels at the same time as the rest of Fnatic were looking at Athena. Bastet gets the cats off, but Reels gets to the sky. Crazy.
They had a great presence of mind to look for the ADC while simultaneously Shaggy Shank was killing Zeus, but unfortunately Reels went into the sky and they could not kill him, leaving them in a poor position, and now Fnatic has a free Fire Giant, nothing that London Conspiracy can do. Only Emilzy is up and the Guardian can't come in on Athena and steal.
So it's so interesting here in Con about how that fight sort of unfolded. A lot of times your fights are pre-planned, right? You sit there and you go, all right, Gold Fury, this is our next fighter. We're going to bait the Fire Giant, or we'll ward here, and when they come to D-ward, we'll take him out. That one seemed very sort of serendipitous. All of a sudden, there was a Emilzy by himself, Maniac ports in, and then you go. Talk to me about how that envelops throughout the communications.
So that was a potential pick that they were looking for Emilzy that turned into a team fight. So they were all collapsing on to get the pick, and then the entire team showed up, so they had to immediately communicate. Badger probably said, I'm blinking in, I'm ulting. He had got a good 2-man ult, which allowed them to immediately pick off Emilzy. Simultaneously, Shaggy Shank says, I'm going in the back. He got a great ultimate off. He jumps into the back to go for Zeus, gets the pick onto Zeus, but unfortunately, everybody else on his team was already dead.
LC played that quite well, though, because we saw Bastet go for Reels on that Rama, and Ho Yi jumping in for the Zeus. They split their damage perfectly. Big issue, as per usual, that we always talk about is being able to get themselves out of combat. And we saw Rama take to the sky, Kiddies do nothing, and while Zeus fell, well, the Rama lived and helped clean up.
It was a great team fight, but the problem was they were already behind so much.
Yep.
It was at the point where they had just given up another Gold Fury. Fnatic had a 7k plus lead, and even though they had arguably the better team fight, it didn't matter with the pure power coming out from Fnatic with the lead.
Emilzy a little bit overextended all alone. I'm not sure what he was doing past the tier 2 tower there. After his charge, Reels was already waiting around the corner. So it's a 4v5 as they push on for the left hand Phoenix, and Maniac finds Ho Yi.
This could be a little bit of nerves coming out. Shaggy Shank as well getting picked off. This is the, we're down 12k at the end here in our last, Worlds qualifier games, and it's just the, all right, this is kind of looking over, and people kind of getting picked off as you're getting a bit depressed.
And you can see that actually they're potentially looking for the end here because they were pushing out the other lanes, the other two, but now the reinforcements are back. Possible mistakes could be made by Fnatic here. A lot of damage coming out for the side of Conspiracy. Titan at half health. Zeros takes out one. They had enough though. Fnatic, after honestly, they got defeated 3-0 by Paradigm. They fought back after a 1-1 to defeat LC.
And in doing so, they wind up finding themselves in the wild card fight.
Eager.
Fnatic's going to have to take on Eager. But boy, after that game 3, I mean, I don't know. Fnatic looked very, very ready to take on whomever.